welcome back to another video. In this one, oh god. This is gonna be a unique one since this is something I haven't done, and by the way, this is recorded the same day as Cringe of the Month. I was planning on talking about some burnout thing, but actually hold on. Let me just check something. Okay, I'm always nervous with the camera because I never know when I'm in frame or when I'm out of frame. This is being recorded the same day as episode 10 of Cringe of the Month, and this was on a bucket list I made a while back. In high school, I believe in like freshman or sophomore year, I wrote a fan fiction about amour shipping called Royalty Meets Bravery. It was 71 pages. I let my friend borrow it. Her grandma threw it away. I had to rewrite that whole damn story. From sophomore, and it took me to almost graduation. It took me through high school to finish this story. The first draft was 71 pages. Here's the story, ladies and gentlemen. Here's where the story, how long the story goes. Well, I'll give credit to the other. Was the other one long? Was it 71? I don't know if it was 71. All I know is this is 52 pages of one story I wrote. I'm not sure if it was 71 that was on the first paper. All I know is it was a long damn story and it took a lot of my time and effort to write that thing. I was sad that I got trashed and I had to rewrite it. So, today, I'm going to be reading this story. I'm not going to get through all of it. I only have 15 freaking minutes. Of 15 minutes, about 3 minutes have passed. Oh, Jesus. So, without further ado, this is Jordan Dill's Royalty Meets Bravery. And note, this story gets crazy as it gets on, because I was just, what the fucking... Once upon a time, yes, I start with that, in the kingdom of Kalos lived the Queen Grace, the King Vince, and finally the girl who all the boys in the kingdom called the fairest of them all, Princess Serena, who woke up to the beautiful sound of Starly, Fletching, and Beautifly, singing in perfect harmony. Then Princess Serena walked over to her window and looked outside and said, "Good morning, fair Kalos. I hope something interesting happens today." After that, she walked downstairs where she was met by her Pokemon partner, Braixen, who jumped into her arms and Serena asked, "Good morning, Braixen. Having a good day?" Serena got her answer by Braixen giving her a nuzzle onto her cheek. Serena continued to smile and continued downstairs. Then when she finally got to her destination, being the kitchen, she saw her mom preparing breakfast and her father at the table reading the paper, so she took her place at the table. Then her mom started serving breakfast, and right as she sat down, King Vince said, "Hey, listen to this. Looking for a new generation of Aura, Sir Ash Ketchum has chosen to come to Kalos looking for a vacation." After that, Serena became ecstatic and asked, "Really? Ash is coming here?" Vince then smiled and asked, "Well, it seems that you really care for this boy. Mind telling me who he is?" Serena's face becomes as red as Braixen's fur in her ears and said, "No, I don't think so." Queen Grace said, "I'll tell you, darling." Serena looked at her mother and pleaded, "Mom, I'm begging you, please don't." After that, Vince said, "Please quiet, Serena. Please, Grace, do tell who Ash is." Then Grace said, Grace responded, "You see, it all started when Serena was no more than 6 years old. It was when I sent her to a summer camp in Kanto, even though all through the flight she kept saying she didn't want to go. Then it all changed one day when Serena separated from the group, and then she heard something in the bushes. Soon after, a pollywag jumped out, and Serena was so scared she accidentally scraped her knee. Then she heard another rustling in the bushes. So with tears pouring, with her eyes closed, she just waited. Then she heard a voice say, "Pollywag, where are you?" "Huh? Hey, what are you doing here?" Serena opened her eyes. "Hi, I'm Ash. Hey, what's wrong?" Serena then looked at her leg and said, "I hurt my leg." Ash then said, "Oh wait, hold on. Ta-da, this is magic," wraps hanky around her injury. "Now watch. Now pain, pain, fly away." Serena then tried to stand, but couldn't, and said, "It still hurts. I can't stand." Ash then stood up and said, "Never give up until the end. Come on." Serena took the hand of Ash extended, and Ash didn't just pull her to her feet. He pulled her into a caring hug. Then when she separated, Serena got a line of red across her face. And since then, Ash had acted like a guardian angel to my little Serena. And so that's that. Grace completed telling the story. Serena was red with embarrassment. Vince was surprised at how much this boy cared for his daughter. Then he looked at Serena and asked, "Serena, do you still have that cloth he used?" Serena smiled and said, "Yeah, it's in my room. I've taken really special care of it, making sure it's nice and warm for the day I could return it to him." Vince smiled and asked, "Serena, why don't you take the limo to the airport?" Serena became so happy and asked, "Really, Dad? You mean it?" After Vince nodded, and Serena then said, "Thanks, Dad. I love you." Soon after that, Serena ran off to the limo. Then Grace looked at her husband and said, "That was a good thing you did, honey." Vince chuckled and asked, "Well, how else am I going to get to know my future son-in-law?" Now, as this was going on, Ash was still flying over the seas in a private jet. He then looked out the window. Then he nudged his best friend and partner Pikachu, and he said, "Hey buddy, look at this. It's so beautiful." So he did, and Pikachu took his usual spot on Ash's shoulder and looked outside. And Ash was right. It was beautiful. That going through Ash's mind was the real reason he was going to college. He told the press that he was going there for a break, but it really is because while looking through his room of accomplishments, when he noticed a pink ribbon on a shelf all on its own. And at first, Ash, for the life of him, couldn't remember why he put the ribbon on its own shelf. So he decided to use the power of aura to see why it was there. Then the memories of Serena started to flow back into his head. Then when it was over, he called for his new friend Lucario and said, "Lucario, gather some reporters. I have an announcement to make." That Lucario bowed and ran off to do what his partner had asked for. Then Ash said to himself, "Serena, I'm coming." Now back to Ash on the plane. He heard the pilot say, "Attention, Sir Ash. We are beginning our descent. Please fasten your seatbelt." After a few minutes, Ash stepped off the plane. He saw a limo with a driver in front of it with a sign that said Ketchum. So Ash walked up to it. Then the driver said, "Hello, Master Ketchum. I'm here by order of their majesties to bring you to the castle." Ash smiled and said, "Okay, well let's not keep them waiting." After that, Ash opened the door and immediately heard a voice he didn't expect to hear this early say, "Hey Ash, miss me?" After that, Ash was given the biggest surprise of his life because in the limo was his childhood friend Serena. Then Ash said, "More than you could think." After that, Ash went inside the limo and soon it drove off. Then, when they came almost to the castle, Ash looked at Serena and noticed something he didn't notice earlier and asked, "Serena, why do you have that tiara on?" Then Serena gave him a nervous smile and answered, "Because I'm the Princess of Kalos." After that, Ash became starstruck and said, "Really? You're the Princess of Kalos? That's great." Then Serena asked, "So why do they call you Sir Ash Ketchum?" Ash sighed and said, "Trust me, I don't want to be called that, but they say when a real guardian of Aura is chosen, he earns the title Sir. Please don't call me it." Serena crossed her heart and said, "Promise." Now after about 10 minutes, they finally arrived at the castle, and exactly after Ash gets out, he hears in a loud and proud voice say, "Ah, there he is! Hello, Ash Ketchum. I'm King Vince, the King of Kalos. I have to say, it is a true honor to meet you." He then extends a hand, and Ash said, "Oh, please, the honor is all mine to be in the presence of gracious royalty. Isn't that right, buddy?" After that, Vince looked at Ash with a confused look. Hold on, let me check the time, since I don't have professional equipment, so... Okay. No, I'm sorry that my voice is probably making this sound boring. I can't. I'm not an imitation guy, okay? I can do voices, just none of them would match. Pikachu popped out of Ash's backpack, then Vince asked, "Oh, and who is this cute little guy?" Ash smiled and said, "Oh, this is my partner Pikachu." Vince walked over to Pikachu and scratched his chin while saying, "Well, aren't you a cute little guy?" He stopped. "Okay, come on in, Ash. You are a very welcome guest." Also thinking this, Vince said, "Plus, my daughter seems very happy with you staying with us." After that, Ash bowed and said, "Thank you, Your Majesty." Grace stepped in and said, "Oh, Ash, you don't have to call us that, especially after all you've done for our Serena. So I can just call us Grace and Vince, okay?" Ash gave his signature toothy grin and said, "Thank you, Grace. Also, I'd like to know where I'll be staying tonight." Grace responded, "Let's talk about that when the time comes. Right now, why don't you have Serena show you to the washroom? It's almost about time for dinner. Anything special for a request, Ash?" After that, the doors opened and two things happened. One, Ash denied anything. Weird for me to write that. But did say, "Surprise me." There it is. Then, after that, Serena's Braixen barking happily knowing her partner was home. But when she saw Ash walking next to her, Braixen, in defense mode, launched a powerful flamethrower attack right at Ash, and before anyone else knew what had happened, Ash took a flamethrower directly in the face. Now, Braixen thought she did the right thing, but when she saw the look of anger and disbelief on her trainer and trainer's family, she found out she made a bad choice. Serena family then heard the sound of pure joy and laughter, so they turned to see Ash was completely fine, with a smile on his face. Then Vince asked, Ash, are you okay? Why are you laughing?" Serena added, "Yeah, my brakes almost burnt your face off, and you're smiling. Why?" Ash was then about to explain himself when a voice filled the room. "I don't think it's the right time, sir." After Serena and her family got the shock of their life, a voice where they could hear it, but they couldn't see who said it. Then during the shock, Serena absent-mindedly grabbed onto Ash's arm like no tomorrow. Then Ash smiled and said, "Everyone relax, that's just my guardian of Aura partner, Lucario. Come on out, buddy." Ash opened Lucario's Pokeball, and the Aura Pokemon stood there, bowing, and he said, "It's an honor to meet you. Like my great-grandfather, he once served a queen, so now I am humbled to offer mine and Ash's assistance in any danger." Grace said, "Thank you, Lucario. You and Ash will be the first to know when something extremely bad happens. Now let's eat. And Ash, how about some stories about your travels? I'm always in the mood to hear a new friend's stories. So what do you say?" Ash nodded and said, "Sure, I'm always willing to share the stories of my travels." Okay. You know what? I'm going to end it there. Because I don't want to go over time, because I don't want to keep jumping up and down. So, if you actually enjoyed this crazy story, let me know in the comments. And see you in the next one. And also, just a note, as I said before, this thing gets crazy weird. Like, I start adding magic and shit to it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that story. As I said before, if you enjoyed it, please thumbs this video up and leave a comment saying if you want me to continue this story. Maybe I will either way. See ya. Bye.